So what do you think the difference is between subtracting and adding polynomials?
You don't have to rewrite the definition for this, right?
That's correct, because we already have it. But anyways, just to refresh your memory, a polynomial is one or more monomials, so no, you don't have to rewrite that. So we're going to be taking one polynomial, subtracting another. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. Right. Well, yes. The order matters as far as how you distribute that minus sign. So what I'm going to go ahead and do for the first step, make sure you write each step down. Distribute the minus sign. So we have one polynomial, which is this one. And we're subtracting another polynomial. This is what's really different about subtracting and adding. You have to make sure, take this minus sign, and yes, I recommend drawing these arrows, and distributing that minus sign to each term in the second polynomial. Okay? In other words, it doesn't just go to the 2x squared. It goes to the minus y and to the plus 3. I'm going to just demonstrate that right now. Okay? Now for the first polynomial, it's the same, okay? It has no bearing on the actual first polynomial. It stays the same, right? The minus doesn't come until next. No, you don't. I mean, for the first one, yes. I'm sorry, you do. For the second one, okay, the first minus is going to go to the 2x squared. But then, as the arrows show, it goes to the minus y. Right, it will turn into plus y, but all we're doing is just sending that minus sign to the minus y. So there's two minuses there. Okay, and then lastly, it will go to the minus, it will go to the 3. You can, I would recommend showing the step, because it's just easy.
Minus plus 3 if you put minus y.
You could. I normally just write two minuses when there's two there, because I'll make the mistake and just put one.
So if there's already a negative, you just put 2 just in case.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I didn't put a plus there is because I was running out of space. But you're right. Let me see if I can put a little plus there for the 3. Yeah, you're right. It's minus plus. It's just going to turn to minus. Anyway, I'm not going to make you do that step. If you wanted to go ahead and say it's plus y, but I found that I make less mistakes when I show my work. So it will become plus y plus 4 minus 2x squared. Then what's next? Plus. Minus minus becomes plus. Plus y minus 3. The next step is going to be to group them. Fortunately, I can see from the previous slide what it's going to be. I'm going to group my 7x squared with my minus 2x squared. Okay, I'll go ahead and underline those two. Then I'm going to group plus y and plus y. Then I'm going to group plus 4 and minus 3. So as you can see, the only real difference is that first step, making sure the minus applies to every term. And making sure if you have two minuses, that becomes a plus. Minus plus becomes minus. All right, so now we can combine these two for step 3. 7x squared minus 2x squared becomes 5x squared. Okay, plus y plus y. Remember, there's a missing 1 there, right? So 1 plus 1 is 2, so that's 2y. All right, good. So 4 minus 3 is 1. So step 3 is to combine those. And then step 4 is to make sure it's simplified. Certainly there's nothing more we can really do with this one. So we'll just leave it as is. And that'll be simplified. All right, so let's go ahead and work on this one together. And again, once you have the steps down, you can just kind of go through the whole problem and maybe just label each step. So definitely like I said, at least for the first several times, go ahead and do this. Because I'm telling you, if you mess up one minus sign, well, everyone knows I'm preaching to the choir. It's going to mess up the whole problem. But yes, like you said, for the first one, you can just take the parentheses away. It doesn't affect the problem. But now we're going to have minus 2x cubed. Then another minus 7x squared. So two minuses there, and then two minuses for the third one. Minus 9. Okay? Then just keep rewriting, making sure you copy correctly. I must mess that one up. Okay, so we have two minuses. That one's going to become a plus 7x squared. We have two minuses again, so that's going to become plus 9. Okay, now for step 2, we're going to group the like monomials. We're just going to do it on this page, though. So what would be the first set we could group? Good, 5x cubed and minus 2x cubed. Okay, so minus 6x squared plus 7x squared. And next, plus 9 plus 9. Remember, the terms are alike when they have the same variables and exponents. Of course, the 9s are alike because they don't have any variables or exponents. They're just constants. Okay, so that was step 2. I will label that as such. Grouping. What's step 3? Combine, okay? So 5 minus 2 is 3x cubed. The variables and exponents stay the same. Minus 6 plus 7 is plus 1x squared. I'll go ahead and write plus 1. We'll simplify in a minute. And then 9 plus 9, 18. So that was step 3, which is to combine them. Okay. And then final step is to do what? Simplify, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just, instead of plus 1x squared, I could just write plus x squared. And yes, you can do that in one step. That's fine. And now we'll finish the problem out. Example 3. We have 7x cubed minus 12x squared plus 7x minus 8x cubed plus 12x squared plus 7x. This one's actually going to be kind of easier because there's no minuses for the second one. And yes, you can write minus plus. I think I'm going to run out of space though if I do this. So for this one, everything's just going to turn to minus. It was going to be minus 8x cubed minus 12x squared minus 7x. Okay? So no double negatives for this one. Okay. First two we're going to group is 7x cubed and minus 8x cubed. Let me see if I can closer here. What about the next two?
They all cancel out.
They won't. Not the right. All right, good. So minus 12x squared minus 12x squared. The last two, we can go ahead and you can cancel them. I'll go ahead and write it out. Be plus 7x minus 7x, but you certainly can just slash through those. Okay, so that was step 2, which is grouping. Step 3 would be what? Combining. And I'm going to write all this out. I mean, you can just put negative x cubed, but this would be negative 1x cubed. Next one would be minus 24x squared. The third one will turn to 0. Step 4 would be simplifying. So what's negative 1x cubed turn to?
Negative x cubed
Good.
minus 24x.
And then plus 0 is itself, so this would be your final answer. So again, 4 simple steps. Distribute the minus sign, group them like monomials, combine them, and then simplify. And there's your final answer.